With Plan B emergency contraception, we're in control of our future. It's backup birth control you take after unprotected sex that helps prevent pregnancy before it starts. It works by temporarily delaying ovulation, and it won't impact your future fertility. Plan B is available in all 50 U.S. states at all major retailers near you, with no ID, prescription, or age requirement needed. Together, we've got this. Follow Plan B on Insta at Plan B One Step to learn more. Use as directed.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability. Restrictions and terms at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
With the next generation, my sister and I were just talking about this. They don't really need to talk to family, and they don't really need to see family on holidays. They kind of look at it like it's a burden to really make time to actually see their cousins. And that's sad.
This is Dr. Andrew Rimby. Thanks for joining us here in the Ivory Tower Boiler Room. If you don't know, you can get all of our episodes ad-free on Patreon, patreon.com/Ivory Tower Boiler Room. All of Mary's True Crime episodes ad-free, video episodes ad-free from the ITBR interviews. Also, follow us on Instagram, please, Ivory Tower Boiler Room. I like to put a lot of exciting arts and culture clips from the podcast, TV shows, films that we've discussed. TikTok is Dr.Andrew Rimby. Long story, the Ivory Tower Boiler Room one got taken off by TikTok because it was too salacious and scandalous, in my opinion. But I might be just having an Oscar Wilde complex there, thinking, that I was causing such a sensation on TikTok. So please rate us on Apple. It really, really helps. Review us. If you're on Spotify, you can rate us there too. YouTube, please follow our YouTube channel. Please like the video, share it with your friends, your community. The only way that I can keep giving you all free, exciting podcast episodes is because of the reach of the podcast. So rating us, reviewing us, it really, really does help. Also, shout out to Sean, our intern, who, if you see the cover art, you see the edits of the podcast, that's all Sean. So amazing work by Sean. So I hope you all enjoy this episode.
With Sam's Club, you have the freedom to shop your own way. Curbside pickup, delivered to your doorstep, come in and grab it yourself. Yes, yes, yes. They've got plenty of options. Your call. Say yes to shopping the way you want. Join now at samsclub.com/yes and. You must be 18 years or older to purchase a membership, and membership is subject to qualifications. Visit samsclub.com/yes and for details.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs, so you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Andrew Rimby. Welcome back to the Ivory Tower Boiler Room podcast. So excited because not only do I get to tap into my 1/4 Italian-American roots, which is very specific, but true, I am so excited to be joined with an author who I've heard a lot about. I've seen her book being promoted with friend of the show, Joseph Federico. Nancy Genung wrote such an incredible Jersey Italian-American exploration of, some mafia dalliances, some of it. Not all of it is about the mob, just we're going to correct the stereotype about Jersey and the mob. But her new book is called Cousins. It's So just well done. And Nancy, I'm so happy to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate you inviting me.
So, we were kind of already starting to talk before I hit record. I'm so curious about, what it is with the Italian American community that you just find so fascinating, specifically in this, Jersey, New York environment.
Okay. I can answer that in one word, I believe. Warmth. The Italian families are so warm and loving, and the way they just surround people and take care of their own, it intrigued me. Not to say that other nationalities don't do the same thing. I'm not excluding anybody here. I just know for me, I'm a Medagan, so that means I am not Italian, but I'm more Italian than I am anything else. So the reason why is because all of my friends here in the town that I live in, which is East Hanover, New Jersey, are all Italian. I grew up with 98% of my friends were all Italian. So I kind of learned a lot of their heritage and a lot of their traditions just growing up in the town and being with my friends and just, loving life as a kid. And I just loved it. And that's really what drew me, was how warm they were. Everything's about the food. You got to have food. If you go to somebody's house, you got to bring something with you. So it also taught me different ways of being, that you just don't show up empty-handed to people's homes. You just don't do that,
Yes.
And that's kind of why I just really like the way they were brought up, and different traits about their heritage.
I totally agree. I mean, I feel like my Italian family, my dad's mom, my Nana, who has passed away, but she was just so like wanted you to feel welcome in her home, but also like if you weren't hungry, she would just like keep saying, well, you have to eat, you have to eat. Like, I mean, even my mom's my grandmom, my mom's mother is like that, but she's Hungarian, Czechoslovakian. I think there's just such an immigrant also like upbringing. Like I find Italian American, some European Americans, definitely Jewish American. There's a lot of like commonalities. And
Totally.
yeah. And I think like the one culture I could say that maybe not that they're not warm, but there's a difference would be the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, which my mom also is. And it's not that they're not warm, but there's a suspicious, like they don't let you in right away.
Yeah, well, it's funny because it's funny when I want to talk about a certain nationality. I don't want everybody to think I'm thinking about everybody in that nationality.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to start off with that. But the French, we are known to not really love the Americans. So when they're a little standoffish and they're a little cold, they're not overly warm and welcoming. The English, I think, are also a little bit standoffish and prim and proper type of thing, where the Italians are like, hey,
yes. Well, and they also, I feel there's also a boisterousness, but there's like the family warmth, like you talk about so beautifully in Cousins. And like, even if someone gets into a fight, they usually are able to work things out passionately. Like there is a passionateness that I feel Italian culture, even in their operas or their arts, like it's like full of ups and downs.
But let me interrupt for 1 second. Then you have the flip side of the Italians, where if you have one argument, somebody has one argument with that person in the family, they're cut off. You're done. Nobody in that family can talk to them anymore. So the more, sometimes they don't always settle because they hold that grudge a little bit longer. And that's kind of what I put in the book a little bit too. I kept that idea.
Yeah, like So how did the inspiration for your book start? Like, was it just you really love, like you've said, your friendships with the Italian American community? Was it like film, TV representations?
Well, I happen to love The Sopranos. I
Hmm.
just love that show. It showed a little bit of both sides, and that's kind of why the book has both sides of the bad and the good um, of the Italian traits. Again, I don't want to say everybody's this way, but it's it just sucked me right in when I was watching that. And I kind of, and this was a long time ago, so I kind of had these ideas in my head, and I just started to jot them down, not thinking in a million years I was going to write a book, because I really had no intentions of writing a book.
The spring season is here, which means there's a new issue of the Gay and Lesbian Review called Victorian Times, all about my favorite period of literature, the 19th century. And you'll see a rugged Walt Whitman on the cover and the dandy Oscar Wilde. Well, guess what? My first article is now published in the Gay and Lesbian Review called Once Upon a Time in Camden. It's the intro to my book, which looks into their queer literary relationship, but also Whitman and Wilde's homoerotic poetics, and specifically what Whitman does with male same-sex desire before the category of homosexuality even existed. Like, how did he even express this in his poetry? Well, you'll have to read my book to find out. Book coming soon. If you know of a publisher, let me know. I'm shopping around right now. But this Victorian issue is so special with the Gay and Lesbian Review. There's articles on Dr. Jekyll and Victor Frankenstein. I'm about to see The Bride, which I can't wait to see. And right, Guillermo del Toro's new Frankenstein is all the rage. There's an article on Monte Cristo's Women in Love, Tchaikovsky's Men. I love Tchaikovsky's ballet. I'm particularly an admirer of the Sleeping Beauty. One on Captain Cobb. There's film and TV shows reviewed like Heated Rivalry, Boots, Kiss of the Spider Woman, which, if you don't know, I had an episode with Jeremy Fox from the Gay and Lesbian Review, the managing editor, and Colin Carmen and Joseph Federico, and we talked all about Heated Rivalry. You have to listen to it. And Kiss of the Spider Woman, I keep recommending to everyone. It is an astounding film. Boots, I actually had the creator Greg Cope White on the podcast too. You'll have to listen to his interview. Also, if you haven't heard our episode on the kink issue of the magazine, it's really, really interesting. And the ethnography one. And yes, there will be an episode soon about the Victorian issue. So get your hands on the Gay and Lesbian Review. The digital subscription is really easy to get, glreview.org. The print subscription also, head on over to the website, click subscribe, use the promo code ITBR choice. You get a free issue of the magazine. Choose the Victorian issue, will you? So head to their Instagram, their TikTok. I love the Gay and Lesbian Review. I get so many book recommendations, TV show, film recommendations. One of the films that I can't wait to watch is in this issue. I want to say it's pronounced Pillion or Pillion. I think I made it French there, with Alexander Skarsgård. So enjoy your reading, everyone. And if you're reading the Gay and Lesbian Review, please reach out to me. I want to let them know, that you all listening to this podcast are reading their magazine. Now that the spring semester is here, I am so excited to let you all know about a publisher, an independent publisher that's celebrating 40 years of great books called Broadview Press. I love Broadview Press. I have so many of their editions of classic literature like Wuthering Heights, which is coming out soon, and it's our book club choice. And they have so many academic books for instructors and for students and the general public. So I've had so many exciting guests on, from guests talking about The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, guests talking about vampire literature, horror literature, I'm looking at you, Jeffrey Andrew Weinstock, whose book actually just came out called Horror Theory. Look it up. And I cannot wait because I have two exciting guests coming on soon. And I've recorded their episodes, so I know that it's going to be such an interesting conversation. The first is Rachel Tukolsky, who wrote a book called Writing on Fire, a fierce yet friendly guide to writing humanities essays in college. I've used excerpts of it for my Writing 2 course at Montclair. It has gone over so well. I just love what Rachel does, and we get into this in our episode about this metaphor about writing on fire, like how that's a great way to think about free-flowing, brainstorming, creative ideas, and getting into that flow state, which, as Rachel explains, happens not just in writing, but in many other avenues. And then the other guest that I have on is David Starkey, who wrote a book called Academic Writing Now, A Brief Guide for Busy Students. It is designed to cover the basics of a college writing course in a concise, student-friendly format. Each chapter concentrates on a crucial element of composing an academic essay and is capable of being read in a single sitting, which, you know, for a generation, myself included, I think all of us now, just consumed by digital media or just this attention-grabbing technology, reading in a single sitting is definitely a plus. So head to Broadview Press, use the promo code Ivory Tower, and you'll get 20% off every single book in their collection. There's also a really cool digital library collection they have. So if you're a librarian, take a look at that. Message me. If you're a librarian, I'd be happy to show you what that new collection looks like. And I hope you all enjoy your reading. Yeah, so now as you were saying, you were talking about like the Sopranos and just this like the two sides of that culture.
Okay. So I took that idea of the Sopranos show and I put it in the book where you have the mob and then you also have the warmth of the other side of the family. And that's what I really like about the book. It shows two sides, not everybody's the same. And it shows when there is conflict, how you're just either cut off and hopefully somewhere down the road, you'll be able to come back together as a family.
Well,
and I don't want to give too much off, about the book. I don't want to say the ending of the book, but you know, that hopefully that's what I portrayed in the book.
Yeah, no, and I love that Christopher and Giuseppe, right? Your leads, and Giuseppe's nickname is G.
Yeah.
That like you really explore that tension, and I think it's interesting because, when people meet Jersey people from like, I don't know, you'll be on vacation in Vegas, or I mean, maybe that's not a good representation because Vegas has such a mafia connection, but like you're in, I don't know, Florida vacationing and they know you're from Jersey and you're Italian. There is such a representation of Italian people being connected to the mafia. Like, how did you do some of that research? Like, did you rely on certain works or like, how did you try to represent the mafia in authenticity?
Well, I've read a lot of books on the mob. We do have a lot of activity in our immediate area. And I work for the police department. So
there you go.
So I hear a few stories and I write them down. And that's what I was going to say before. Is like, I wasn't intending on writing a book, but what I did was I would jot these little thoughts down. And I don't know, within a few years, I noticed I have a lot of stuff going on here. Maybe I can make it work. Maybe I can play with it a little bit. And I did. I sat down one day and it just flowed. Once I started, I had awesome experience because it kind of takes you out of reality. You're not living your life at the moment that you're writing, and you're living Giuseppe's life and you're living Christopher's life. And boy, would I like to live Christopher's life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that like what I've just learned, I mean, I grew up in South Jersey in a very Italian American South Philly transplant community.
Mhm.
And I was always taught that you never ask questions
Yeah, that's
um,
true.
when someone like is divulging information and you know that their story isn't exactly making sense to you.
Yeah,
Specifically, yeah.
it's called, they're connected.
They're connected. Yeah, exactly. Or they work in produce
Uh-huh.
or yeah.
Or
So,
the garbage, or the
yeah, or
garbage,
the trucking business. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
concrete. That's another good one. Concrete.
Yeah. So, I was always taught like just pretend you don't hear what you're hearing,
Me
and move
too.
on.
Yeah,
And
me too.
good advice, good advice. But like even here in Secaucus, I think what's so beautiful is like the Italian delis here, Natoli's, like is a good example. Giovanni's, Filomena's, like I could name
Yeah,
Amadeo. Like there's all the places, and there is like such a family environment, and there's also a sense of like being loyal. Like, was that
yeah,
something you saw? Is Italian culture really does value loyalty?
yes, yes. And so does the mob.
Mm.
So it's like, that's why that just, it draws me in. I like the loyalty of the family. I like the loyalty of the mob, their ideas of being, you got to be loyal, you got to shut your mouth, type of thing.
But it doesn't mean, right, that you like that people in the community they also do protect each other, and I'm not right talking about the mob, right, I'm talking about the
No, no.
Italian
Yeah, yeah,
culture, is they
yeah.
also protect like if someone's being bullied, um
True. They'll step
and
up.
they're not going to let that person in the family be bullied.
Right,
Or,
right.
you know,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
someone is a writer, they're going to support that writer. They're going to support the person doing whatever profession. And I think that there's something really powerful in that and very old school. Like, how did you kind of navigate those old school values? Because I feel like we have
Well,
lost we have lost those old school community
yeah,
values.
yeah, yeah. It's like the generation now coming up. It's completely different than what you said, the old school. And well, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not real good about talking about age because I don't like to even admit to what I am. So a lot of it I have experienced with my some of my older friends. I have a really good friend of mine who's in her, she's quite older than me, but she's in her like 70s, 77 maybe even, I'm gonna say. And she talks about growing up in Newark with push carts where
Wow.
they push the produce. It's not the buggy and wagon at that point, wasn't that bad. But these guys, these immigrants came in and worked their tail off. They would buy a cart, fill it up with produce, and go house to house with fish, breads, vegetables, fruits, all. And it was that. Now that kind of stuff intrigues me. It's like, can't we have a little bit more camaraderie where everybody got along better than what we do in the world now? That's
Yeah.
that's my bottom line that I miss. I miss, growing up and everybody just really looking out for each other. And it's just not that way nowadays. You go into the schools nowadays and yes, it's all the computers and they're all on their phones, but that phone is creating a shield, and then they could say anything they want, and then the bullying begins and all that stuff begins, and it gets out of hand. It just,
Yeah, well, I
so
even see it on like our town Facebook where people are anonymously like writing negative comments about people in town, and it's kind of like the Scarlet Letter where they're
you can't
targeting people.
yeah, and you can't have, if that person had a face-to-face conversation with the other person, it wouldn't happen. They just shut their mouth because they're cowards, most of them behind.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, like I was sharing something like I love to, you know, as a professor, or just someone who just I value education so much. I love to share like the beauty of New Jersey public schools, which, we have such strong public schooling. And like
We do.
Secaucus is doing really well. And I was like, oh, I'm so happy to be a resident in a town that has such a good public school system. And like, right, the majority are positive. And then of course, some people have to be like, well, you haven't lived here long enough to know that there's such an issue with our schools. Or they're like trying to devalue public schooling. And then someone anonymously was devaluing my education. Like, well, you must be a product of the public school system. And I'm like, well, if that means that you get a PhD as a public school student, I think that's a compliment. But it's just, you know, it's like you said, Nancy, if that person was going to see me face to face, they're not going to have that conversation with me.
No,
And
they're going to keep it to themselves, which is what they should do. If they really truly believe that, shut your mouth, keep it to yourself. It's fun.
But you're right. And I think that's why, though, I love what you bring to life in your book, because it's what I love, though. Right. I might have brought that up, but I love that we have our homemade ice cream place here. My dad's mom, her grandmom, so my great grandmom owned an ice cream place in Philadelphia. And like, I just try to imagine, it's like brings me back to the places that exist here in Secaucus, where it's like, you know, what's beautiful is like, I know the Indian restaurant owner, like I know the person who owns the ice cream place. I know Mr. Natoli, like the librarians, and there's a camaraderie. And I feel like we need that. It's like what you said, we need to socialize and we need to talk to people in our everyday life.
Right. Get off the phone, stop hiding behind the screens and talk to people. Walk, you know, have a conversation. Good or bad, have a conversation, get it out, you know?
Yeah, you're right. Like, we're not all going to agree with each other. You know, in this day and age, of course, we're not all going to agree with each other. But
That's true.
We can be in a place where we can disagree and be respectful. And I think that, you know, like, how do you explore that tension between, you know, Chris and G, for everyone out there, they're cousins, right? The name of our novel. But you say that they're more than cousins. They're not just cousins. They're like they're friends.
Welcome to Severed, a podcast suite dropping new episodes every Monday. Severed True Crime and Severed Paranormal episodes deep dive into murder, mysteries, and the otherworldly in a concise format. A 7-minute story to frame the case with thoughtful analysis and our usual banter.
We sometimes find the lighter side of darker cases. We offer 3 spin-off shows, Severed Strange Stories, Severed Haunted You, and Severed Serial Killers that highlight the unusual to lighthearted topics from the digital dumpsters of true crime, haunted universities, and the minds of madness like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer.
We are your co-hosts. I'm Harry Chambers.
And I'm Drew Hudson. Listen on all major podcast platforms, including Rogue Media Network and Radio Garden State. Follow us on Instagram at severed_podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Welch's Fruit Snacks. Big news for your kids' lunchbox. Welch's Fruit Snacks are now made without any artificial dyes. A snack parents can feel good about, and the same delicious taste kids can't get enough of. All made with no artificial dyes. Try Welch's Fruit Snacks today.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Are you a fan of classic Hollywood movies?
Are you a fan of queer cinema?
Then do we have the podcast for you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christian Garcia.
And I'm Luke Del Mar.
And we are your hosts of That Old Gay Classic Cinema, where we take a look at some of the greatest films of all time and analyze them through a queer theoretical lens.
Let's be honest. LGBTQIA+ people have been a part of Hollywood since its inception, and this podcast celebrates those artists and entertainers of yesteryear while also taking a closer look at the queer-coded characters and stories in classic Hollywood films long before queer representation entered the mainstream.
So follow us down the road of classic cinema as we give you a guide to some of the films that touched our hearts, brains, and even gave us courage to be ourselves.
You can listen to That Old Gay Classic Cinema wherever you get your podcasts, and be sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
All right, listeners, We're ready for our close-up.
They're actually so close. They're like brothers. When they were growing up, they did the Italian thing where they would go to each other's houses for Sunday dinner. But on top of it, Chris and Giuseppe are very close in age. So they went through the school system. So they were like brothers instead of just being cousins and seeing your cousins maybe once in a blue moon or maybe even once a week. They saw each other every day. We're together every day. They were best of friends. And that makes them, as adults, stay nice and close. The family stays close. Like in the very beginning of the book, I talk about being down to the Jersey Shore, and they're sitting around in the family circle. And that came directly from my own personal experience. I used to go to the beach that I mentioned, Silver Beach, down the shore. And as I say, down the shore, because that's what we say in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
And we used to sit on our blankets, on our towels, and hang out all day long. Bring some refreshments, bring something to drink. I mean, eat something to eat if you wanted to. And not just, it's so good, for lack of a better word. It just, it makes the family whole when you're on vacation with the family. You're not just living life every single day. So Giuseppe and Christopher, as close as they are, they make a pact that they were going to do this every year for as long as they possibly could. So even in their 20s, they're still doing it. And Christopher, who makes all the money, pays for everything because he's a multimillionaire at this point in his life. So he's living life pretty well. So instead of having anybody put their hand in the pocket, he's so generous and so loving and respects everybody. And it's amazing how he runs his business because what he's learned in the family has carried over into his business. Every year they have this huge Christmas party. And he doesn't just have a little, let's go out to dinner. It's a bash. It's like a wedding. Everything's decorated to the nines. They have so much food. They got a DJ. It's amazing. And then he hands them all out some bonuses. So every single person that works for him comes to his Christmas dinners or affairs. And he's learned that from his past, being so close, being, so kind, that's one of the reasons why he's so successful, because he has some of the same employees that helped him get to where he is still working for him.
Yeah. Well, and the Jersey Shore is just, I absolutely love it. I mean, I grew up going to Wildwood every year, every summer with my dad's side. My mom would be there. And you're right. Each shore has its energy. Like, in my opinion, each shore has like its different specialties. Like, if you want the amusements, you go to Wildwood. If you want like Victorian houses and like boutiques, you go to Spring Lake. If you want like the partying, you go to Seaside. Like, now we go to Long Branch because my husband's cousin is there. But I love making my way up and down the coast. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah. Now my area that I stayed at was like Lavalette. So that's where the Jersey Shore show was filmed. But when I was going down, it wasn't anything like it was during the show being aired. And nowadays they've knocked down all those bars and built these magnificent homes. So again, it's no longer the same. It's no longer small bungalows, no air conditioning,
Yeah, things are trendy. Long Branch has become like the commuter, New York City place. And
for sure.
Yeah, like I was just recently in Red Bank for the first time. I never had been to Red Bank, and I'm like, this is beautiful. It reminded me of Princeton in a way.
Yeah. And the restaurants they have in Red Bank are outstanding.
Yeah, the Highlands. I mean, we have so much interesting geography and nature.
We do.
I love Jersey.
We get a bad rap, absolutely, because when you're flying in, what do you see? You see all the smoke and all the, it's So,
yeah, I mean, I lived on Long Island for 10 years, and trust me, Nancy, people had something to say whenever I said I was from Jersey. And I'm like, what did Jersey do to you? I mean, I always say it's because Long Islanders really want to live in Jersey, but it's the same thing. It's the same culture. It's
Right.
just different,
Yeah.
different geography,
Yep.
different
Yep.
parts of different rivers of New York City.
There you go.
But yeah, like, so
Yeah.
what else did you really just enjoy getting into in your book? Like, is there something you even maybe learned about, your upbringing or things that you value in your own circle when you were like working on like tracing and charting out Christopher and Giuseppe's
Yeah.
family dynamics?
I think I have to go back and say just what we were talking about in the very beginning. It's that warmth of the family. You do everything you possibly can to keep everybody together. And I lost my both parents now; they're both gone. So I try my best to keep my sister and my brother and their significant others, their husband and wives, all at least in talk to them as much as I can, and just keep the family together. And that's kind of something that I've learned growing up with a lot of my Italian friends. Not to say that my parents didn't teach me that, but I got more from my Italian friends, the more warm. Like, when I was growing up, I would walk into people's homes and not even think about kissing them. And now I walk into people's homes and I don't even not think about kissing them. If I don't kiss them, there's something wrong. And that's the kind of thing that hit home for me with the Italian traits and the warmth that they share with other people.
Yeah. Well, so do you agree with like the much contested statement that I would hear my dad's side still say, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but like, what do you think about that statement, blood is thicker than water?
Oh no. Because I have some friends that aren't blood and they're like my blood, So blood is thicker than water is I don't know if I agree with that as much as I did maybe growing up, thinking, you gotta stick with the family. But because some of my friends are not family, obviously, but they're like family to me.
Yes.
When I get some good friends, I hang on to them. I still talk to my grammar school friends almost every day. We have a group of girls that just as we live life we still go out to dinner probably once or twice a month, just to talk and bitch and complain and get it all out.
I agree. I think that right, both can be true. You can have very close, like Chris and G. You can have such a close family member who just is in your inner circle. And you also can have friends, of course, who become part of the family. Like, I mean, there are some friends of mine where my parents hang out with them at dinner, or like they're just around because they are just so tight. And
they become family.
Exactly. And your novel really had me reflect, Nancy, on giving perspective on family who I wish were closer, like specifically my cousins. And if they're listening, I love my cousins, but I grew up as the young cousin. I'm close to my second cousins because we're close in age. But it's really tough when I think you don't have modeling done where the family is together all the time, and then you try to like form a relationship with a family member much later in life, and it's like you don't really even know where to begin sometimes.
Right. Well, the sad part is, and I hate to keep saying because it's going to make me sound old, the generation now, whatever they call it, Gen X, whatever, Y,
Z.
They are not as family oriented as we were growing up. There's no more traditions, and that's what's really sad, because the book is all about traditions and the Italians and with the next generation. My sister and I were just talking about this. They don't really need to talk to family, and they don't really need to see family on holidays. They kind of look at it like it's a burden to really make time to actually see their cousins. And that's sad. That's really sad. I personally my mother was one of 6. So I have quite a few cousins, but I don't know them well. Even growing up, we would get together, but it was just like you said, and now it's kind of, I hate to say it, but it's kind of too late, because where do you begin? Like, hey, what's your brother's kids name? You know, so it's weird. It's just,
Yeah, like there's some cousins of mine where every time I see them, they're like, "What do you do again?" And it's like,
yeah, yeah,
"Oh," and I'm not trying to fault them, Nancy, but like that's a tough place to continuously feel like a stranger to certain
yeah,
family members. Where,
yes,
but at the same time, there's like a cousin of mine. I can't wait. Like we're
yeah.
celebrating my grandmom's 101st birthday.
Oh,
Bless
God
her.
bless her.
Yeah, yeah,
God
yeah,
bless her.
yeah.
Yep.
She has her she has her mental acuity,
Oh,
she's in
perfect.
assisted living and doing
Uh-huh.
great. So yeah,
Good,
we're
good.
celebrating her birthday and like my cousin lives in Frenchtown. I'm going to stay at his house. I just can't
Uh-huh.
wait. Like tomorrow we're staying at my dad's side and Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and I can't wait to hang out with them. And I think you know, it's also like which family members do you click with? And I feel like you reflect a lot on that too. Like,
Yes,
can you
yes.
speak to that theme too about what is it like when you click with certain family members and you realize not that I'm not going to talk to these other family members, but maybe for my own peace, we kind of just coexist peacefully.
Yeah. Well, in the book, I think I have to answer that more on a personal level than I do the book, because the book really doesn't have that. Where, Christopher's sister Suzy is close with the family, so that really isn't wouldn't fit in there. I just know that like I said, my mother was one of six, so that means that they all had it's and a lot of them didn't live in New Jersey. I only had one aunt and uncle live in New Jersey. When I was a kid, they were still a lot of them here, but then slowly but surely they moved out of New Jersey, and then forget about it. You lose track of them. But you're right. There are times where you connect with one certain or couple of people in the family or a couple friends, and it just works. Like you can't wait to see them. I have two cousins who live in Arizona, happen to fit into that one, where I can't wait to see them. And I just happened to see my cousin, maybe last year we met up in Vegas. My niece,
Oh,
my cousin Nicole was supposed to come out, but she had a little problem with her dog, so she didn't make it. But her brother came with his girlfriend, and then he sent me a text just the other day that him and his girlfriend got married. So like, that's cool, at least he's keeping in touch and we're still talking. My cousins that are right around the corner in the next town over, what's going on? So it's just weird. There's no rhyme or reason to it either. There's no one ever had a problem with anybody. It was just, you click, like you said.
you're right. And I think sometimes like some people get so they become insular in their life that I always love to check up with friends and again, I should probably do it more, but I think there's something just even saying like, I'm thinking of you
Yeah,
is like a
yeah,
simple message, but it means a lot. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, but you're right. Like the cousins that I click with, the family members I click with, we love to like go to bookstores. We like to talk about theater. We like arts and culture things. So I just
Yeah.
gravitate towards that.
And you also have something in common, so that's
Exactly.
what makes you gravitate to them. I
Yeah.
don't, some of my cousins, I'm not even sure what they like.
No, that's true. And it's hard. Like if you're gonna get together, like tomorrow we're doing a game night. So I can't wait. We're like gonna do board games or charades. Like
That sounds fun.
yeah, like I always like to do an event or an activity with my family.
Yeah.
And I feel like it always icebreakers are good. And
Oh,
especially during the holidays. Like how do you process this idea of family like you've been talking so, much about? Like during the holidays, they can be tough, the holiday
oh
season.
yeah. Yeah. Well, just for an example, is like we used to always go to my sister's house for every holiday almost, because she had a large house. She could fit everybody.
Yeah.
But now she's living the good life, and she sold her big house, and she has a smaller townhouse here in Jersey and a townhouse down in Florida. So she's living the good life. So she doesn't have that big house anymore. So a lot of those family functions don't happen. And also, now that her kids are grown and having kids, they kind of pull her away from me and my brother because they want to see her. So that's just natural. That just happens. And sometimes you got to just say, okay, so I'm going to that. Do it on Christmas. We don't have to do it on Easter. Well, as long as we get together, we get together.
Yes, yes. And forming those, like now I'm forming a lot of new traditions because of my husband's family. And then like my mom's birthday is Christmas Eve. So we're taking her out here. And then the next day, his mom's coming and his cousins are coming. And I feel like he's taught me so much about the importance of family gatherings because his family like get together all the time, where my family, like, it would be rare for like a family member to like surprise someone at their house. Like my family would be I don't know if they would actually be happy about that. You know, where his family, they would be like, "Oh, come on in, have a cup of coffee." But like I think too, when you introduce a new person, there's also an exciting possibility to start new traditions with each other.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely right.
So like, was there any part of your book that, you know, you were worried about writing or like you didn't want to misrepresent part of the
How about the
story?
sex part?
The sex.
that.
Yeah, let's get to that.
You know, as a reader, I like a little spice. It keeps me going. I want to see what's going to happen in the next pages.
Yeah.
So I put that in the book purposely so that you could see the loving relationship between Christopher and his girlfriend, Nicole. And then you see the flip side where Giuseppe, who's all about himself, is only out there to screw women. Excuse me for 1 second. We're having a tornado, I think.
K-pop Demon Hunters Haja Boys breakfast meal and Huntrix meal have just dropped at McDonald's. They're calling this a battle for the fans. What do you say to that, Rumi?
It's not a battle. So glad the Saja Boys could take breakfast and give our meal the rest of the day.
It is an honor to share.
No, it's our honor.
It is our larger honor.
No, really. Stop.
You can really feel the respect in this battle. Pick a meal to pick a side.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's while supplies last.
Everyone knows that unexplainable it factor, that smile that lights up a room, that wow. Well, it doesn't happen by itself. There's chemistry behind the charisma. Colgate Optic White Pro Series toothpaste removes 15 years of deep-set stains when you brush twice daily for 2 weeks. How? The clinically proven formula is powered by Colgate's hydrogen peroxide complex. It works at the molecular level to gently dissolve stains deep within the enamel where your brush can't reach. It's proof that daily routine can be remarkable. That's the science of wow. Colgate Optic White.
Holy crap.
Are you okay? Is it the wind?
Yeah, but it also, the rain came with the rain with it. It was, yeah, it's bad out there.
Oh, severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, I just got it.
Yeah, it's happening here in East Hanover.
Okay, so we'll probably get it soon. The weather seems to travel east.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, no, so yeah, you were saying about just the sex and the spiciness, how you were trying to write that.
So I had a problem. This is gonna sound funny, but I had a problem finding the right words. I didn't want to be too vulgar and I didn't want to be too medical. So finding the right words, it was a little difficult for me when it came to the sex scenes. So I tried to like not make them huge, really long page after page. I just wanted to show a little bit, keep you reading, keep you turning those pages.
Yeah, so like what rating would you say if your like book turns into a film? What would you give the rating of the film adaptation?
I might give it an R. Because of Giuseppe. Giuseppe, he was looking, he was going nonstop for a while.
Yeah, he's a playboy.
He is a playboy. That's a good word. I couldn't come up with it. That's exactly what he is.
Yeah, well, something else that I find so interesting is like, how did you come up with the Essex County? Well, you told us about, being in the police. You are a police officer.
I don't want to say what town, but I work for a police department as a special officer for years and years and years. So I did a little bit of everything. I was out on patrol. I did all that stuff back in the day. Now I am very happy just being in the office, in the records department, and taking care of like paperwork and stuff like that.
No, that's
I'm still involved, but at the same time, I'm in my office, minding my own business now.
yeah, which sounds more relaxing.
Yes, yeah, especially nowadays. You never know what's going to happen out there, right?
Yeah. Well, and like, so was that the inspiration for, Nicole, who is with Chris and is an Essex County Prosecutor?
Yes. She's an attorney, so I could have made her any type of attorney, but I decided to stick the police stuff in there and make her a prosecutor. We deal with Morris County. East Hanover's in the Morris County area, so that's the municipality that we would deal with, the Morris County Prosecutor's Office. But because we're so close to Essex County, and they're a hopping area over there in Essex County.
Yes.
I thought it was right for her to be over there.
Yeah, because Essex County includes Newark and East Orange. Yeah.
Oranges,
yeah.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, so and here we're Hudson County. I mean, all of Jersey, right? I think
there's good and bad in every area.
Exactly. Every area. Yeah. So what has been exciting to hear from your readers? Like, is there something that you just get so interested about with their reaction to your book?
Well, I like that they're enjoying it. I get just enough from that. That you're enjoying it. You want me to write another one, which I am doing. I started it this past winter. Nice. I hope it doesn't take me as long as the first one did, but like I said in the beginning, I wasn't planning on doing it, so it took me about 7 years to write the book.
That's incredible, though. I mean,
yeah. So hopefully this one will go a little bit faster. And look, so I'm glad that everybody's enjoying it. That's where I get my joy from too.
Well, and I want to play a little Italian American game of sorts, which is I'm going to give you a few categories, and I want you to tell me what comes to your mind right away. So,
okay.
We have to start with food, because I just think we can't talk about Italian American culture or any culture without food. Right. So, you go to an Italian deli. What is your top one item that you have to get?
Burrata. The new cheese that's out there, the mozzarella, the real soft one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your cheese. Okay. If you have to order an Italian sandwich, what sandwich are you ordering?
Eggplant. Eggplant with fresh mozzarella, maybe some arugula.
Yeah, I'm between that and a chicken cutlet voluka parm sandwich.
Yeah.
But it has to be the vodka sauce.
Yeah, and thin. And the chicken's got to be very thin.
Yeah, they have to beat the hell out of the cutlet. I know. And as my husband said, it matters. It really does. I'm like, wow.
If you get a big chunk, it doesn't taste
No. Yeah, not a big chunk. Yeah, I don't want a big chicken cutlet chunk.
No, not at all. In any of my meals, give me flat, pounded chicken cutlets.
Oh, yeah. What is your favorite Italian bakery order?
Pastries. I love the Italian pastries, the ganules, the eclairs, you name it, the spiudels, all that stuff.
I'm a St. Joseph's cake person.
Oh, that's too. Yep.
I love that.
Just the what's it called? When they fill it with, can't remember, but I'm sorry about that. I lost.
No. I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, I'm a cannoli person, but I'm a chocolate chip cannoli.
Okay.
I like the chocolate chips.
Or how about the chocolate coating on the outside?
Oh yeah, that's good.
Just had one of those today.
I'm a cannoli cream person too. Even just cannoli dip and give me some chips.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or cannoli cake. Have you ever had that?
Oh, that's good.
Oh, we have a bakery here in town. It is to die for. So
Oh,
here,
yeah. Say what it is. What is the bakery?
Sorrento's.
Sorrento's.
Have you ever
I'll have
been
to
there?
go. No, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go.
Oh, you definitely, because everything in this place, I swear they put something in it because you want more and more of it every time you have it. It's so good.
Okay, so Sorrento's, and then I know the one in Essex County is Calandra's.
Calandra's, yeah.
Everyone talks about Calandra's.
Yeah, but Sorrento's beats them, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Those are fighting words.
I know they are. I know they are.
Well, also in Union, in downtown Union, there's a bakery that I wish, it's next to Here's the Story bookstore, which is a friend of like the show, the owner Joe. Next to his place is this Italian bakery that's just like very classic. It might be from the 1940s. It's very historic. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I gotta
Delicious.
go find that one. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like you can't go wrong with any Italian bakery in North Jersey. You'd be hard pressed to find a bad bakery.
True. I totally agree with you.
Because they won't keep them in business.
Breads, just the bread. Forget about the sweets. The breads. Sorrento's bread is so good. They make the Italian rolls. They make, of course, the long loaves, the bonnelles, all that stuff. So it's
But that's what I love about the Sopranos scenes is like, even when they're like discussing, what they're going to do with someone who's been disloyal, it's always over like a biscotti and a cappuccino. Like it's always centered on food. Like they still need good food.
Yeah, they're drinking their espresso. We're gonna knock their knees off,
And you're like, but they got to make sure that, they have the best prosciutto as they're discussing this. I just love that though, because it's so true though about how much they value that like Mediterranean food and culture. Okay, so how about what show? And I think you've already given us this, but what TV show do you think does the best at representing Italian American culture?
Well, The Sopranos, I don't know, is the best because it shows you more bad than good. What television show? So sure. I don't know if I have an answer for that off the top of my head because there's so much out there right now. But The Sopranos, is one of my loves. I loved every episode. It sucked you in right from the start. But
I love Edie Falco.
Yeah, they're all good.
And they get into literary conversations, right? Because is it their daughter who's studying at college? Or I know they talk about like certain novels.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do.
Yeah. Well, and the finale takes place in Bloomfield.
Yes, at an ice cream store, which I talked to Joe about to see if we could get there and tell them about the book and maybe have a book signing or something there.
Oh, you should. Holston's.
Yeah, but they don't want to do that. So, but it's all right. We'll do it next door.
I mean, hey, Sorrento's.
Yeah. Possibility.
Yeah. There's a lot of like good, I'm sure, if you even reach out to Natoli's Deli, they'd be, I'm sure they'd set you up.
And he'll go that.
Yeah. And have them like, say that, Andrew who lives around the corner from them. We'll make something happen. Okay, so how about the difference between The Godfather and The Sopranos?
The Godfather, I think, was a little more cutthroat, where they, there was just, they're just kill. Where The Sopranos showed you a little bit of the warmth of the guys together, taking care of each other. But The Godfather, they didn't care. They would slice your neck open and continue drinking their coffee. So that's Godfather was a great movie, great show, but Sopranos is my go-to.
Yeah. How about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Nancy?
Oh God, they're not true. Come on. They're so gaudy. Oh no.
So you don't like the gaudiness of...
Oh, I don't like the loudmouth, the I expect everything given to me attitude where I'm rich, so you gotta bow down and cater to like that in any part of my life. I don't like that. So to put it on TV, I'm like, you're giving us such a bad, we have a bad rap anyway. So why do we have the Jersey Housewives on TV? And why do we have Jersey Shore on TV?
No, I know. I feel like it all just becomes so telenovela.
Yeah.
You know, that's not them in their everyday life. Like,
no, let's hope not anyway. Could you imagine?
I mean, yeah. I hope not. I hope they're acting. I really hope they're acting.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you a sprinkle cookies or a pignoli cookies? Talking about the housewives, because that's a few.
Pignoli.
Ah, okay. We differ there. I'm a sprinkle cookie.
Are you? Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm not even a sprinkle cookie. I'm a raspberry, filled cookie.
I agree with you there. Yeah, I like the raspberry with the almond cookie thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, almond cookie. That's, you know what? It's not that I don't like a pignoli cookie. I think actually at the end of the day, I'm a tiramisu over any of the cookies because I just don't like I don't like a dry cookie.
Oh, well, the one I just had today, because I went to a Christmas party today, was so soft. It was so good. I was like, where did it come from? They had the pinoli nuts on top, but it was so soft. It was perfect.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. Now, are you a ladyfinger tiramisu or are you a square tiramisu?
Ladyfinger.
Again, I'm not on board with that one either. It's so funny though, but it's true. We have our particularities. Food is such an interesting thing that unites us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I put a lot of it in the book, because that's really where, that's where all of our heritage is. Doesn't necessarily have to be Italian. Look at the Irish, look at the German, and the Chinese, they all have their own thing.
Exactly. I mean, and even the Mediterranean culture, I'm a baklava person.
Yeah.
I love baklava. I love tres leches with, Latin American culture. And my grandmom made the best Hungarian kiflis.
Kiflis, what's that?
It's a cookie so it's kind of like rugula, but not cinnamony. It's basically, it has two open ends of the cookie. And you would put apricot jam or a jam in it.
Holy. And then they would fill it like a round thing?
Yeah, kind of, but it's more like a butter cookie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's good. I mean, I feel like any dessert, you're going to be hard pressed for me to turn down.
I'm with you there.
I know the holidays, I'm watching my dessert. Okay. Well, I feel like, Nancy, there's so much that you give us in Cousins. I absolutely love what you do. Like you say, it's kind of, if you like Sopranos and 50 Shades of Grey, I like you say 50 Shades of Grey without the kinkiness. There isn't exactly bondage, just so everyone knows. Yeah. But
membership means more with American Express Business Gold. Earn 4 times membership rewards points in your top 2 eligible spending categories every month, including eligible U.S. advertising purchases and select media, and U.S. purchases at restaurants, including takeout and delivery. What are you waiting for? Get the card that flexes with your spending every month. Terms and points cap apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
Predator Badlands, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Here, you're not the predator. You're the prey. 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 Prey.
Critics are saying it's epic, stunning, and breathtaking.
Many have come here. None have survived.
Predator Badlands, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+, rated PG-13.
I just am so excited for more people to discover your book. I think it's so wonderful. where can everyone, find your book, Nancy? And even I know you signed copies of it too, which is great.
Yes. Well, right now it's on Amazon. It's actually a lot of places now. It's on Barnes and Nobles. Amazon is my first because I self-publish. So that's where I kind of send everybody. It's easy to go. You just go on Amazon, put in my name, Nancy Genung, and the last name is spelled Genung, and then Cousins, and the book will pop right up. So that's the easiest way to find it. Barnes and Nobles has it. Ingram Sparks is a company that distributes to everybody, so you can get it there too. So there's a lot of places right now.
Great. And how can everyone follow you on social media, especially since now, we know you're working on a new book too?
I'm on Facebook. It's called Nancy Genung Cousins the Book, I believe it is, or Cousins the Book. That's Joe's territory, so I'm not exactly. But
I'll link it in the show notes so everyone can find.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you have an Instagram too.
I do. Yeah. Cousins the Book. Yeah.
Good. Cousins the Book. Yes. So a really amazing read. I mean, you're going to nicely, we got another copy of it too. So Cousins the Book, Nancy Genung, please definitely recommend it, especially if you love Italian American narratives, but or if you want to learn. It's not a memoir, it's not a nonfiction, but it will get you really interested in behind the gates of these families. It's just such an interesting, amazing family narrative that you bring to us, Nancy. Thank you so much for writing it. I absolutely loved reading it.
Oh, thank you so much. That makes my heart warm. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It was so much fun to talk with you. I could talk about Italian American culture all day.
We can have this conversation for hours, right?
Exactly. I know. Now I'm hungry. Now I want a chicken vodka parm.
A nice hard roll.
Exactly. Yes. Not a wrap, a hard roll.
No, hard roll. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Nancy. I'm wishing you such a good holiday season.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Yes. This was so fun.
Definitely.
Bye, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.